Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we're going to go on a full tour of Disneyland. I figured since Critter Country has closed, we now know what the park is going to look like for summer 2024. Thought I would show it to you and answer your summer-related questions along the way. So let's get going. And we are going to start our tour of Disneyland right here at the park entrance because one of the questions that we got today for this video, I'm answering your questions, and they said, can you come in and out of Disneyland multiple times a day? And the answer is yes. Disney does have in and out services. There is no hand stamp, meaning that you do not need to show a stamp upon return into the park. You just use your park ticket. You can come in and out as often as you like with a few caveats. There are two security measures to prevent fraud. And the first one is that they take your picture and they apply your picture to your specific ticket, meaning that if somebody else scans your ticket, it's going to show your picture and they're going to know that that, is not yours. But the other security measure is that you cannot scan into the park 30 minutes after you've previously scanned in. So, for instance, if you were to scan in and then the second you got into the park, you're like, oh shoot, I forgot my wallet back at the hotel. So you run back, the hotel is like 5 minutes away, and you come back to scan in less than 30 minutes after you first scanned in. It's not going to let you. 30 minutes has to pass before they'll let you scan in again. You can get a supervisor to help you out, however. That way, there's still ways of making it work. I just want you to be aware of this policy that they have, that once you scan in, you can't scan into a park again for at least another 30 minutes. Now, I don't remember the names of the people who asked me these questions. I just wrote them down in a note. But somebody asked if I could choose one tour to do at Disney, which one would it be and why? The only one that I can think of here at Disneyland is actually Walt's Main Street Story. We're going to come over here to the lockers real quick because I need to swap out my jacket. But if we are talking about any tour at any of the Disney parks, there's actually one at Animal Kingdom that is kind of like a safari trek, if you will. They let you go on some rope climbs. You go over the Kilimanjaro safari areas, and it looks really, really fun. I don't remember what it's called, but that is probably the one that I would love to do the most. They do have some portable phone chargers here if you want to charge up your phone battery when you're here. But here's the lockers, and they've got two different sizes, two different prices, $7 and $10 depending, and it's good all day. All right, we just came out of there, and I just ditched the jacket. I tried to put this tour off as long as possible, hoping that May Gray would release its grip on Anaheim here, but it is about 1:15 in the afternoon, and we are still at full overcast. Amy tells me that back at home where we live in San Diego, it's full sun, but not so here. Somebody asked about pressed pennies, and over here at the Penny Arcade is usually a place that I look for them. And here's the location for those pressed pennies. They do have collectible medallions as well on the right, but here's the pennies on the left, and it says $1 for each, or all 8 for $5. This isn't the hand crank kind. That's the kind that my kids like, of course, but it also costs a little bit more because of that. I won't be able to point out every single collectible penny location, but most of the time you can find those in gift shops, and of course that's just one of them inside the Penny Arcade Candy Palace area here of Disneyland. The other question that they asked was, what is the best souvenir? And in my opinion, the souvenirs that people end up buying the most anyway are going to be those mini ears. Additionally, I've got a Main Street vehicle coming up here behind me. I could hear the engine. I was like, I don't want to get run over. The other one is Loungefly backpacks. I have a Loungefly. Amy has 3, and she rotates them out. She uses them as her purse. Somebody asked that as well. Like, what do you use a Loungefly for? How are they practical? Well, Amy just uses it as her purse at home, and here in the parks, she switches them out for different occasions. She has different Loungeflies for different occasions. And so, I use it as a backpack like, you know, what a Loungefly would mostly be used for, to store my things whenever I'm here at Disney, all the different filming things that I have, but it also carries sunscreen and my portable phone charger whenever it gets hot. Sometimes I'll take my jacket off and put it in the backpack, but I did not do that today because I actually have some food that I picked up and I'm taking home, so I had to get a locker so that that food doesn't get smushed in my backpack. Now we're gonna come over here to Adventureland first. This is gonna be the first land that we're gonna start off in, and then we'll do a sort of a weird little loop. We'll get to Frontierland, but it'll be quite a bit later on. I originally asked you all to provide me with questions via community post, and about 60 of you responded, gave me some questions, and a lot of them had to deal with summer crowd levels and different times of the summer season, what time, you know, how busy I think it's going to be in July or the end of August or that sort of thing. And I want you to know that I saw those questions, but I actually worked on another video about summer specifically here today. And since I answered that question there, I'm not going to belabor it again here. But somebody did ask if they're coming in June, can they get both parks done in a single day? And really, regardless of when you're coming, I think getting both parks done in one day is a bit hard to do depending on how often you come. You know, if you come multiple times a year, yes, both parks in one day is fine. But if you haven't been in 5 to 10 years, or you've never been, doing both parks in one day is not recommended. I would actually just suggest you stick with Disneyland. There's so much to do here, and going over to DCA would just take away time from that. Unless there's something in Disney California Adventure you really want to do, like Radiator Springs Racers or something, then I get it. That would make total sense. If, you know, oh, that's really high on my priority, I want to do Radiator Springs Racers and Rise of the Resistance, then I would recommend buying the Lightning Lanes. Definitely make sure you get Genie Plus either way. I've actually ridden very nearly every single ride on Genie Plus in both parks in a single day. We did that 2 years ago. So it definitely is possible to get a lot of stuff done in both parks. But again, depending on how often you have come or regularly come, it's maybe not necessarily recommended. Passing by Pirates of the Caribbean here right now. Quite a lot of people all around the park. We're, you know, having to dodge some people to some extent, but if it ever gets too crowded, I will turn the camera off and we'll wait till we get past the people. It's sort of off season right now. Call it shoulder season between spring break and summer. I'm not going to go back here into the shops of New Orleans Square. We are just going to stick with the main thoroughfares here. Someone else asked, can you use Genie Plus and Rider Switch together? And the answer to that one is also sort of complicated, because if you think about it, what you're getting for Rider Switch is a free Lightning Lane. There's no other like special location that you go on Rider Switch. It's not Universal. Universal has a child switch room. You go back through the exit. It's super fast to use. Disney just hands you this free Lightning Lane, and if the Lightning Lane is 15 minutes long, then you know you still have to go through that line. But if you have Genie Plus, you're already getting Genie Plus for the person that's sitting out. The only thing that it might be useful for is if you have a child who wants to also ride. Again, like you have 4 people, one child can ride the ride, one child can't, so the adult sits out with the child that can't. But you know, the child that can ride it uses their Lightning Lane the first time, and then they need to use the Lightning Lane again with the Rider Switch. That's a possibility, but there are other complications that I'm not gonna really get into with that, and just namely that you can't get a new Lightning Lane until you clear the Lightning Lanes from everybody previously. So just factor that in. If that doesn't make any sense, watch my Genie Plus videos and I explain some more of the details there. But then it also, can you use Genie Plus with DAS? That's another common question. It didn't pop up, but while it's related, we'll talk about this. DAS is Disability Access Service, and it is a service intended for people who cannot wait in line to, usually disabilities, of course, that's why it's called Disability Access Service. And it essentially is a free Genie Plus service for those qualifying people, but it works on standby rides as well. And I have heard the people that have this service, that can use this service, also partner it up with Genie Plus to expedite even more rides, and they say it is fantastic. So if you find yourself in that situation, definitely use both the Genie Plus and DAS if you want to go ride crazy. We're wrapping around here. Critter Country just closed yesterday, and this is what it looks like now. The construction walls are up over here on the left. Yesterday is the time of this filming. I don't know when this video is coming out. It might not be for another week, but today is May 2nd, Thursday, May 2nd, as we are walking around. Hungry Bear Restaurant is still open, but the construction walls go all the way up the ramp so that you can't see into whatever they're doing, of course. Right now we're headed towards Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. The next question is, can you walk into the park if you are staying at a hotel nearby? As opposed to Walt Disney World, where all the hotels are really, really far out and spread out. At Disneyland, the hotels are all mostly really close by in the Anaheim area here. So a large majority of them you can walk from. Others have some free shuttles. So anything pretty much on Harbor Boulevard is within walking distance. Catella Avenue, some of those are also in walking distance. Specifically, this person was asking about the Stovall's Inn, the Best Western Stovall's. In my opinion, the best Western close to Disneyland is actually the Park Place Inn Mini Suites, because it is the closest hotel to the entrance of Disneyland out of any hotel, even the Disneyland Hotel. And I really like that one. The Stovall's, I have stayed at there once before, and yes, it's walkable, but it is about a 20-minute walk. It's actually located back by the Pixar Place Hotel, but unlike Pixar Place, which gives you priority specialty access into either DCA or to downtown Disney through the Grand Californian because you are a Disney Hotel guest, as a non-Disney Hotel guest staying at the Stovall's, you would have to walk all the way around and down to the Disneyland Hotel and enter downtown Disney as if you had parked in the Simba lot. And of course that extends the walk a little bit. Again, I've done it before, but it's a bit further. I've also stayed at the Clarion, which is down by the Toy Story parking lot. And a suggestion for people down that way is to just walk over to the Toy Story lot and hop on one of the Disney buses, and they will take you straight into the park. But a lot of places are walkable. 1:26 in the afternoon, and Rise of the Resistance is a 50-minute wait. That is pretty awesome. I was worried that I didn't have enough questions to answer throughout this tour, and that I was going to have to fill in the dead space with random talking. Despite what you may think about me being a YouTuber, I don't actually have small talk very well. I'm an introverted person, and so filling in the silence is kind of hard for me. So I was worried about that a little bit, but this is a question that I was supposed to get to all the way back when we were first walking into New Orleans Square, and that is, what is the best way to go about getting a Fantasmic dining package? Sorry, I had to reset there a minute. When I find myself being blocked in by too many people, I don't want to make my filming inconvenience others, so I generally just step off to the side, wait for the crowds to disperse a little bit, which also means we're actually not going to be walking through the marketplace up here because that's going to be a more crowded place. But Fantasmic dining packages, Blue Bayou, you do have to make an advanced dining reservation with the ADR, that's what it's called, advanced dining reservation. They're not available yet, as far as I'm aware, even though we are less than a month away from the return of Fantasmic. I have not seen those come back up yet, But River Belle Terrace in particular is a first come first serve basis. You just need a regular River Belle Terrace dining reservation, and then when you get there, you tell your server that you would like the Fantasmic dining package. They'll bring out a special menu. Now, I have heard that you could also do this at Blue Bayou, but the reports I found online are conflicting. Some say you need the advanced dining reservation, others say that you can ask your server. If you can't get an advanced dining reservation, try the ask your server option, because you know that it never hurts, right? But you can also set up an alert on mouse dining if you would like if you can't find a reservation and you would like to know as soon as one becomes available. It is free to set up those alerts for the first 4 alerts, and I highly recommend doing that. It looks like the stormtroopers are over that way. But again, we're gonna steer clear from most crowds, and we are just gonna continue walking through. I do see some blue sky peeking out here. Blue sky, the clouds are starting to break, but still no harsh, sharp sun. But thankfully I am starting to see shadows on the ground, so the sun's peeking through the thin cloud layer. Somebody asked, Tom Sawyer Island or the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail, which is the best for kids? Well, I can't answer that. I mean, I guess I can, but I thought it would be more fun when this question came in. I asked my kids last night what they prefer, and James said he liked the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail because they have the flying fox, and he absolutely loves that, as well as the net climbs. But when I asked Benjamin the same question, he said Tom Sawyer Island because he likes the caves and going exploring and crawling all through those. Those caves are pretty tight for adults, I will say that. But the children absolutely love them every time we go over there. We don't go over there often enough. I need to try to remember to do that more often, because every time Benjamin's face has just lit up like, you know, it's the brightest thing ever. He just loves being over there, never wants to leave it. It's a great place for kids. The next question said, where did your passion for Disney come from? Was it, you know, a specific experience, or did you go as a kid? And yes, for me, it was going as a kid. I went for the very first time in 1994, and I was 6 years old, almost 7. When I was 6, I went to Walt Disney World. I didn't go to Disneyland for the first time until 2012, I think it was the first time to Disneyland here. But I grew up going to Walt Disney World on vacations. First time was in 1994, second time was in 1997, third time was in 2004, and then I didn't go again until my wedding anniversary the wedding date, honeymoon, that's the word for it, honeymoon in 2011. And then we've gone to Disney World virtually every year since I got married. Amy loves Disney too, obviously. And then we moved to California in 2014, became annual pass holders. And that's all she wrote, as they would say. We're getting into a very crowded section here in Fantasyland, so I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to have the camera up. Someone asked, is there any way to predict ride closures? Is there any sort of a pattern to it, or is it really just random? And that's a great question. There are consistent ones that happen every year. Regular maintenance closures, like Grizzly River always closes at the beginning of the year after the Christmas season. The same thing with Haunted Mansion and It's a Small World as they switch from their holiday versions back to their regular versions. And then the same could be said for both of those two rides as you get into, for Haunted Mansion, it switches to Haunted Mansion Holiday at the start of Halloween season, and then It's a Small World switches to It's a Small World Holiday at the start of the Christmas season. And they'll be closed usually for a week or two as they make those switches. Let's poke down this way real quick here. I completely forgot to go through Frontierland, so we're actually going to go a different way here. We're going to finagle. I apparently went the wrong way around the carousel. This is a little bit more wide open here. What were we talking about? Ride closures, yes. But a lot of the times ride closures are kind of spontaneous. Like nobody had any clue that Disney was going to be closing Critter Country before it appeared on the refurb schedule. Nobody really had any clue that they were going to be closing the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. You know, a lot of these things are really random. This way to Frontierland. There's the entrance to the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough, by the way. But if there's a big one, Disney will announce it ahead of time to give people plenty enough notice that something's about to be closing. You know, get your fill in it, like Haunted Mansion and Tiana's Bayou Adventure and those sorts of things. But sometimes refurbs just happen. Maybe a part that they have been waiting for to come in suddenly comes in, and it's been on back order for 9 months, and now they have to do the maintenance now. That's just kind of the way it goes. Maurice's Treats, one of my favorite places to get some snacks. Long line over here for the Princess. That is Anna already out here. I'm gonna say Princess meet and greets, but it's not for the Royal Hall. That's just for Anna. We can get into Frontierland from the back way here if we go through this little tunnel. It's usually not the best in terms of crowds because it can be congested, but it's what we're gonna do for this video anyhow. But it actually looks pretty open right now, so that's pretty good indeed. I'll pull up a new question just as soon as we get out of here. Rancho del Zocalo to our right, the entrance to it. We're turning left to go towards Frontierland proper at this point. I love Rancho del Zocalo, really good Mexican food, brand new menus. Rancho del Zocalo got tons of new food items for the new menu drop that happened at the beginning of May. The line for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, not looking too bad right now. The next question is riding the new Star Wars ride first thing in the morning a good idea? They didn't define what they meant by new Star Wars ride. Are they referring to Hyperspace Mountain because the overlay just started in April? Or are they referring to Rise of the Resistance? If they are referring to Rise of the Resistance, the answer is no. Any longtime viewer on my channel knows that I disagree with rope dropping that attraction. Everybody rope drops it, and unless you get into the park at 7:20 when they first open the gates and are at the very front of the rope drop line, you're not going to have an easy time with it. If you're all the way in the back of that line, and then it has a delayed entry, I mean, you may not be getting off of that ride until close to 9 o'clock or later, and then you've lost the entire first hour the park is open, which I call the golden hour. That is the best time to ride rides from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So I usually recommend going elsewhere. Now, if the question was about Hyperspace Mountain, then yes, going there first is great. The longest I've ever waited there for rope drop, even at the very back of the rope drop line, is about 15 minutes. So that is pretty solid. After we finish riding Space Mountain, we usually almost always come over here to Big Thunder Mountain because its line is usually manageable first thing in the morning. And we can knock out Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, and even another big popular ride, be it Pirates of the Caribbean or Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters or any number of other things. I would just recommend that you not do Rise of the Resistance so that you can use that first hour for other things. And then in my opinion, I have found that 9 a.m. is really good for Rise of the Resistance because the initial rope drop lull is down, but there are still not that many people here in the park. The second best time to ride Rise of the Resistance, in my opinion, is after 7 p.m. I notice a pretty good dip in that attraction's wait time after 7 p.m. About 2 months ago, right before spring break, we rode it at 7:30, and it was a 35-minute wait. Like 3 weeks ago, in the middle of April, I rode it at 9 a.m. and it was like a 30-minute wait. So yeah, really, really awesome times all the way around. Well, we are back to the point that I double backed a little bit. If we were to continue walking off to the, well, straight ahead, but off to the right because the path bends, we'll end up at Pirates of the Caribbean. You can see the sailing ship Columbia out. Mark Twain Riverboat, yeah, I'm gonna say, should be coming in. There's a goose. The Mark Twain Riverboat is coming into the dock right now, so they have both boats in operation today. Getting a little windy now. Getting a little windy. And a little chilly too, despite still some blue sky peeking through. We don't have any harsh sun, no shadows on the ground this time. But Candy Cane is not associated with anybody. It's kind of like a little family run, independent word of mouth sort of like hotel. And I love it. They just had a new renovation. Everything is remodeled as of a year ago. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. The other one is the Anaheim Majestic Garden Hotel, a lot cheaper, further away, about a 20-minute walk through a bit of a sketchy area, so I wouldn't walk it. Where the hotel is located is fine. It's just you have to walk up over the bridge with all these cars buzzing by you really fast, and it seems okay during the day, but towards the nighttime, it feels a bit more sketchy. How about we're not going to go through the castle right now? We're going to walk up by Matterhorn. I think that's a good idea. So it's not that the area is sketchy, just that the walk is kind of sketchy. And I would be concerned about it. But they do have a free shuttle from the Anaheim Majestic. It's more of a bit like, I don't want to call it run down, but the bus definitely feels kind of run down. They really could use for updating their shuttle bus. The hotel is definitely just not as nice overall as Candy Cane is, but it's very affordable, and every time I've stayed there, I've had a really good experience, so I can't complain about it. That one does have a shuttle. The Howard Johnson is a hotel with a really great splash pad for kids, younger kids, not older kids. Like teens would probably find it a bit dull, but younger kids has a wonderful splash pad, and there is no shuttle for that hotel, but the walking distance is really manageable. There's a lot of other hotels that I've visited as part of the Getaway Today hotel tour. The video is up on my channel that you can check out. It's back in February, so just scroll through the videos and find back in February, and you'll find that video. They all have art bus transportation. So hello, Bert.
Okay, so that's good luck shaking your chimney sweep's end.
Always great to meet Bert. And the shiny monorail. I love the shiny monorail. Anyhow, distracted again. We were talking about hotels. Oh yeah, the Howard Johnson, really, really great. The other hotels on the tour, they're a little bit further away. They're still on Coachella, but they have art bus transportation, which I don't remember the exact price, but I want to say it's like $1.25, maybe $2, something like that for all day ride services. That's per person, of course, but it's not free, but it's not like ridiculously expensive either. And their options, I'm thinking the Hampton Inn on Coachella. They also have Spring Hill Suites and things like that. What ride is worth the wait no matter how long it is? That is a really great question. And I don't have a good answer for you. I'll tell you the ride that we've waited the longest for and dealt with it, and that's Radiator Springs Racers. Every time we've gone to ride that ride, if we haven't rope dropped it, I feel like we've waited a minimum of an hour, sometimes longer for it. And even though it's an hour, by the end of it, I'm like, I love this ride. It's great. So yeah, worth the wait. Now, on the flip side, I got in line for Peter Pan's flight when it said it was 35 minutes, and it ended up taking me like 65 minutes. And that was the same amount of wait that I just said for Radiator Springs Racers on average. Yet I said, oh man, that was not worth the wait because the ride's like 2 minutes long. And yeah, it's just not that thrilling to me. We have Geppetto and Pinocchio going by here as we're working our way up to Mickey's Toon Town. But in general, I have a rule where I say if a ride is longer than 35 minutes, I won't wait for it. That's just my general Disneyland rule. Again, that's probably because we come so often, but that's also because I know that depending on the time of day, I can ride it with less than 35-minute wait. So if it's 65, there's no way I'm gonna wait for it when I know that if I wait 2 or 3 hours, it's gonna drop down to 30 and things like that. So yeah, that's why I have that policy here. However, at Walt Disney World, I don't have that policy because I only make it there every year. Actually, it's been 2 years since my family has gone to Walt Disney World. I was there very briefly last year as an attempt to see if we could do some Disney World videos here on the channel and see how they would resonate with you all. I didn't do so well last year. I'm hoping that they will do well this year. Do me a favor, when you see those Walt Disney World videos land, watch them. They'll be vlogs, just fun day vlogs, nothing too like heavy or deep or anything like that. You just want to see my family having fun, riding some rides. Please do us a favor and watch those videos when you see them, and that will help us know whether or not you would like to see maybe some more Walt Disney World content from time to time here on the channel. I'm rabbit trailing again. Oh, Cosmic Rewind. Yes, that's the ride that I wanted to tell you. Cosmic Rewind is the ride that I would wait for probably no matter how long it is. Now, I'm gonna get a boarding group. That's my expectation or my hope whenever we go. And then I will buy an individual lightning lane for that ride as well. That's how much I love Cosmic Rewind. However, if it were to ever go down to a standby line without boarding groups, that is a ride that I would instantly say, I don't care how long it is, I'm gonna wait for it because I love that ride so very, very much. Now, we're up here in Toontown. Again, another congestion point. We might have to take the camera down here. Okay, here we go. We made it through the congestion point here, up by Gadget's, Chippendale's Gadget Coaster. Gadget's Go Coaster is what I always want to call it. 30-minute wait. Yeah, see, I wouldn't even hop in line for that ride at a 30-minute wait. Somebody asked, do you need Genie Plus if your children are less than 40 inches? And I will specifically, they said 42, but 40 is a benchmark here at Disney, so I lowered the question. For 42, yeah, most of the rides have opened up to you at 42, but I wanted to modify it and say if they're under 40, a lot of the Genie Plus type rides are, the benchmark is 40 inches. Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Railroad, all of those you need to be 40 inches in order to ride. And we're getting another congestion point as I have to come back out. So the question you just have to ask yourself is, if your kid is under 40 inches and they're not going to be able to ride those rides anyway, is it worth getting? And that's going to be totally up to you. There are plenty of rides like Mickey and Minnie's that we just passed behind us here. That is Lightning Lane eligible, Genie Plus eligible, and it does not have a height requirement. Same with It's a Small World, same with Haunted Mansion when it reopens. At the moment, Pirates of the Caribbean is on Lightning Lane. I don't know if that will stay once Haunted Mansion reopens, but there are Autopia, Buzz Lightyear. There are attractions for the littler kids that are Genie Plus related. Now, a related question, I don't remember if this was for this particular video or if it's just another question on another video that I answered recently, but if your child is under the age of 3, that is, they are 2 and under, they could be 2 years old and like 350 days, you know, their birthday's in 2 weeks. So long as they are still 2 years old, they do not require a ticket. And if they do not require a ticket, they do not need Genie Plus. And they can still go on those Genie Plus rides with you. They can still go on It's a Small World and Autopia and all those things, provided they're tall enough for Autopia. I don't remember when our kids hit the Autopia height limit, but I think it was before they turned 3, because it is 32 inches. And yeah, they were like a year and a half when they hit the 32-inch mark, I feel like. So definitely could go on Autopia. Even if they don't have a ticket, if they don't have a ticket, they don't need Genie Plus, but they can still go on those Genie Plus attractions so long as mom and dad have Genie Plus. Does that make sense? Okay, we backtracked a bit. Pixar Pals Playtime Party. One of the questions that I just saw in the notes as we were walking by here said, how do I feel about the new Pixar Fest offerings. And I thought it would be a good idea to pop up here and show you what's going on with Pixar Fest as we talk about them. Troubadour Tavern has a whole bunch of new foods here, and of the two that we had, they were probably the most disappointing items that we had of the food that we got, but that was just because both items were temperature cold. I felt like if they were prepared a little warmer, it would have been much more enjoyable. But here is the look at what's going on here at Pixar Fest. They have a play party essentially going on down here with a whole bunch of photo ops. Now, I could care less about photo ops, but I know a lot of you really, really enjoy them. And so they have a Bugs Life one, a Monsters Inc. one, an Up one. They have Radiator Springs Cars over there. They also have Onward, and then Luca, and they have an Elemental one up that way. We'll loop over there in a second. But they do like kids dance party type things down here in front of the stage. When they're not doing those dance party things, they have like cartoons up on the screen. Things for kids to watch and do here. Overall, the activities that are going down there for Pixar Pals, the Pixar Pals party, whatever it's called, I've already forgotten the name, is not all that exciting to me. Here is the meet and greet where they're doing an Elemental meet and greet. You can meet Ember and Wade. You can meet Ember and Wade right here. They're not right now, obviously, but I have seen them doing that whenever I was here this past Saturday. As far as the food goes, most of the new food that we had was pretty good. Today, I am trying a whole bunch. Oh, look, the sun is out. I just felt sun on my neck, and I'm seeing sun on the ground. Yay, the sun has made an appearance. Finally, it's like 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and finally we got some sunshine. Easily distracted. Now I have already forgotten what I was talking about. I feel like the new food that just dropped for May 1st, I like that food a lot better than the Pixar Fest food, except for the Pixar Fest cake. That item, if you have not seen our food video, go check that out. The Pixar Fest cake was probably my favorite item that we tried out of all of the Pixar Fest foods. We tried 10 different items, and that one was my favorite. It's a returnee, meaning that it's not new. They've had it in previous Pixar Fests, but so yeah, somebody asked and I answered. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I have not seen the Pixar Fest parade or the fireworks yet. However, I probably won't see the fireworks, just knowing me, but the parade we will catch at some point over at Disney California Adventure. And at that point, I'll be able to share my thoughts. We are going to be hitting up the marketplace booths on May 11th. They start on May 10th. I don't know if this video will be out before then or not. I can't remember my schedule. I'm filming it on the 2nd, but what I'm doing right now is getting a whole bunch of content built up so that when I'm on vacation, you guys can still have videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of my vacation week. I won't be working. Well, I will be. I'll be filming new videos at Walt Disney World, but I won't be editing, which is the more tedious portion of this job. I love the filming process, right? The editing, on the other hand, is the work portion. I don't mind doing either one of them, to be honest with you. I love what I do. I love coming up here and making videos for you so you can help plan your vacations. But I'm going to pre-plan all those videos, work really, really hard in the next 2 weeks leading up to our trip so that they're all scheduled out, already ready to go, and you guys can still watch videos even though I am not at home. Next question. What do I do to keep my kids entertained in lines? I'm sorry to have to tell you that we don't do anything. Our kids are really patient little guys. They're troopers. They're used to this. You know, like waiting in lines for rides is something that they do all the time. So do they swing on the chains? Yeah, they swing on the chains, and it's like, Benjamin, knock it off. Yeah, you can tell which child does the swinging on the chains. But other than that, they're actually pretty patient little guys. We just talk as a family. You know, we have fun. They're good troopers. Don't usually have too many issues with them waiting in lines. Other ideas, I've heard people play Heads Up on their phone. We also, in exceptionally long lines, if they have a game on the Play Disney Parks app, that, like if you're in Space Mountain, there is a specific game for Space Mountain that it knows you're at Space Mountain, and it'll let you play this Space Mountain game on the Play Disney Parks app. And James actually really loves that game, so anytime we get stuck on Space Mountain in that line, he wants to play it. And there are other rides that have the Play Disney Parks app connectivity with them as well, so you could check that. Heads Up was the other app that I know a lot of people play. Different games, of course, that you can do to keep them entertained. Food is another one. Food. They have fanny packs. Both of our kids have fanny packs, and they stuff those fanny packs full of snacks from home. Tons and tons of food. And Benjamin always is hungry at the most inopportune times. And so we just tell him, well, get a snack out of your little pouch there. And he just unzips it, grabs his own snack, and starts chowing down, and that keeps him happy and all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the best that I could say for that one. Next, what are the best bathrooms around the park for privacy, or for little ones, or for families? And I gotta tell you, as a guy, I really don't pay attention to this. I really don't. We just go to whatever bathroom we're closest to, and for guys, it generally works. For the ladies, I can tell you that there are bathrooms that my wife avoids. She doesn't go to the one by Rancho del Zocalo because there's always a really long line there. She tends to prefer the one by Adventureland. I don't know if it's bigger or better or what, but that's just the one that she tends to gravitate towards a lot. We also use the ones at the front of the park a lot, right there next to City Hall and Main Street. But one of my own personal favorite bathrooms, as far as privacy goes, because there's far fewer people at it, is actually right back this way next to Autopia. And so I'm gonna walk you back here because I want you to see it. The only people that ever use this are people who are going to Autopia or the Disneyland Railroad back this way. Very few people come back here otherwise. And so this bathroom doesn't get a whole lot of foot traffic. There are a lot of stalls, and it always tends to be quiet in here every single time I go in. So here's where they're located, right back behind the Winter Circle gift shop. And this is the place that you want to go, in my opinion, for the most private bathroom at Disneyland. Where is the Chase Disney Visa card holder photo spot, and are there any other perks that come along with that? And one of those photo spots tends to be right here in Tomorrowland at the Star Wars launch bay area. They haven't changed this launch bay hasn't been open in a really long time, but as you see right here, Disney Visa card member exclusive photo experience is available from 2 to 6 p.m. and I think you can meet Darth Vader. Yes, I did just ask, and it is Darth Vader that is doing the meet and greet there. Additional Visa card holder perks are that you get discounts in the park. Yes, I just looked it up. You get 10% off select merchandise, 10% off select dining whenever you use your Disney Visa card. You also get 15% off select guided tours, and you can also save money on your hotel, provided that you stay at a Disney hotel. I know that we are going to Walt Disney World, and we used our Visa card holder perk to save 30% off of our Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort stay, which actually saved us quite a bit of money, and that was because we are Disney Visa card holders. I did have to pay for that hotel stay with the Disney Visa card, though. I couldn't use my regular business card for that one in order to get the discount, but that is absolutely okay. I will take that any day for the savings. Someone asked, will the People Mover ever return? As you see, the track is still here. It's actually configured for rocket rods, which was the failed ride that they ripped out. So it's not like they could just add the People Mover back instantly. But I mean, you wouldn't think it would take too much to reconfigure the track for People Mover. I mean, the pathway is already there. I think that the problem is that it interferes with some of the things over in the Autopia range. I don't know the structural aspect of it. If it were just a matter of changing out the track, you think Disney would do that, right? Because it would instantly add another ride in the park, and who doesn't want more rides for the amount of space that they have? It helps disperse the people. It increases capacity. Increasing capacity means more people in the park, which means more people spending money. Why wouldn't Disney do it, right? So there must be some other big reason why they're not doing it. People have been wanting it to make a return for years, and it hasn't. And will it ever? I'm not going to hold my breath, but I would love it if Disney would change their mind and do that. One final question as we make our way back into the hub here. And we're just going to pull over to my favorite talking spot because the Disneyland band's in front of the castle, so I don't want to get too close right now. And that last question is, if you could pick one Walt Disney World ride to bring it to Disneyland, which one would it be? I gotta tell you, I really love the bigger rides, and Disneyland just doesn't have the room for them. What do I mean? Tron, Cosmic Rewind, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. These are the rides that I really love at Disney World. We actually got Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and that was one that was on my favorite list for Disney World, so I'm happy that we got that. I mean, we kind of did get one of my favorite rides from Disney World. We got Mickey's Runaway Railway, so yeah, can't complain with the rides here. I love that both parks have both coasts have unique rides so that I can enjoy both sides. Disney World is my vacation spot, Disneyland is my home park. Well, that's it for our time here today at Disneyland, giving you a full tour of the park. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you still have questions, or maybe I didn't answer the question that you posted on the community post, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer them. Click this video to keep watching. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time